Hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the New Starters Perspective series. This is where I get a chance to speak to those who have recently joined Veramed to find out what their first 6 months have been like. Today I'm joined by Saira. Saira, hello and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Let's just jump straight into it. What is it that you do here at Veramed, and how has your first 6 months been?
So I'm a senior statistician here, and I work in the consultancy org. The first 6 months have been great. It's been nice to settle in, I think the right perfect balance. So I had enough time to settle in and learn the SOPs and whatever, but then I was able to join start doing billable work straight away, pretty soon after as well. So I wasn't doing just training for a long time. So I think it's been a nice balance, because there's been some busy periods, but then luckily had a little bit slower and nicer, calmer periods as well. So
that's good. They settled you in nicely then.
Yeah, perfectly.
So you're primarily home-based, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
How do you find working from home? Is that okay for you?
Yeah, it's been really, really amazing, actually, really beneficial for me, because obviously I've got 2 kids. So it's really nice to be able to drop them to school, come home, log on at the right time, finish work, and then be able to pick them up as well and not worry about, having to commuting and factoring that extra time in. And I think in general, the last few years, obviously since COVID, I think everyone's got used to working from home as well. So we've got the technology and infrastructure in place. And I think that's made life much easier for I think parents especially, who can now manage it and work from home and stuff like that, because the resources are there and they're provided, and I think stuff like Zoom calls or meetings with video cameras, I think they kind of break that barrier, so it doesn't actually feel like you're actually that far from the office in a way. Obviously working in the office has its perks, but I feel like now it's not such a big deal working from home, because you still can have a certain relationship with your colleagues still. And I think the camera aspect and the video calls they make a big difference to allow for that.
No, definitely. And I remember you were actually in the office for the first couple of days when you joined. Yeah. So it was nice to see you, and it must be nice for you as well to meet some of your colleagues face to face. And then once you go into video, it's a bit more comfortable. It's the ice is already broken.
Yeah, sure. And again, just, get your bearings as well. So now I know where you guys sit, and just know about the office when somebody talks about it. So it's nice definitely to visit the office as well, for sure, and actually meet people in person.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's really convenient now that we're able to work from home and still be able to be as productive, or maybe even more so, because you have that flexibility of having a little bit of extra time to, do stuff.
No, definitely. And I've spoken to a few of our home-based colleagues, and they've said the same thing. They don't feel like they're been isolated or anything like that. They've still got that company community kind of feel to their day-to-day, which is always good.
Yeah, for sure.
How did you find the recruitment process?
Yeah, so I think the recruitment process was really great. And I say that because it was one of the factors that helped me make a decision to join Veramed, because the vibe I got from when I was being recruited, for example, Bradley from HR, who was the one who was in touch with me, he was very open and honest, and he was able to give me the information that I needed when I needed it, and he was in touch quite often as well. So it wasn't that an interview was given afterwards, nobody got in touch with me for ages. He would give me updates if there was something happening that was going to be a delay or whatever, and if I had certain requests, he never made me feel awkward about it. He was always happy to go back and find out if that would be possible, and I just think that really put me at ease and made me kind of feel okay, wow, Veramed is a place that I would like to be at, because already I kind of felt like I was being heard and listened to and considered as an equal partner in the recruitment process. Because I feel in some places you can go and then people make you feel like they're doing you a favor. I don't know if that's the right way to analyze it, but with Veramed it didn't feel like that. It felt very much the respect was there, and I think definitely I had a really good experience with the recruitment process, and obviously with the interview as well. When I was having my interview, definitely made me feel comfortable. I think again the the vibe, isn't it, about the company that you kind of get based on the questions that I also asked the interviewer, and their experience here was a big factor in helping me decide to join Veramed.
Yeah, excellent. You're not the first person to say that either, so is really good that it's consistent throughout everyone's experiences. Because yeah, sometimes you go to an interview and you feel like you're just going to be another sort of like cog in the machine.
Yeah.
At least here, like you get like, because I had this very similar experience. Just felt like they treat me as an individual, looked at my strengths and weaknesses, and like to see where I could help improve and where I can help the company. So yeah, you instantly feel like you are part of something. And
100%.
yeah,
I agree.
excellent. You've sort of touched on this slightly before, but what was sort of the onboarding process like for you?
Yeah, so like I said, very positive for the interview part, and then when I actually onboarded as well, I was in on the first day, so very friendly, made me feel comfortable. There was like a sort of a schedule in place that we followed for like the setup and everything, obviously very easy. And then we did have some instructions as well to take away with us, so we could look back at them. So yeah, I think it was very straightforward.
Oh, excellent. So do you have any sort of tips for any other sort of new starters or anyone who's looking to apply in a similar situation to you that has to do sort of like a school run and things?
Yeah, I would say the main tip is just be really open and honest with your line manager. If you do need to sort of like work around the schedule and, you know, change your timings a little bit for like a random day. So for example, you know, last week I had to go to my child's Easter performance, and it was like around about 10:30, but I didn't have any meetings that morning. So I just let my line manager know that I'll be out for about half an hour and I'll be back at a certain time. And yeah, she was completely okay with that. And then obviously I made up that time. So as long as it's not affecting your deadlines or any meetings or anything like that, I would say it's the key is just, yeah, the openness and the honesty. And it should be easy to maneuver and it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, no, of course. And it's nice that in this industry, we do have that flexibility, which is great because like everybody has things going on outside of work as well. So sometimes it doesn't always line up perfectly, but it's nice that you've got that flexibility and you feel comfortable bringing it up. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining me on the podcast. It's been lovely chatting with you. I'm sure I'll get you on a longer episode at some point. So thank you all very much for listening. If you'd like to be notified for any future episodes, please subscribe to us on Spotify, iTunes, or whichever podcast platform you're using. If you'd like to know more about Veramed, please visit our website at veramed.co.uk, or you can find us on LinkedIn. If you have any questions about Veramed, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm always happy to help. You can also find us on YouTube and Instagram at We Are Veramed. Thank you all very much for listening, and until next time, goodbye.